Francis Ha 2012. This is a bit of a classic in my opinion. I have seen this about 10 times over about a decade, and I believe in the past I have given it 10 out of 10, or maybe on some viewings 9 out of 10. The problem is, as you grow older, rewatching movies is rarely very beneficial to the movie. When you are a kid, you can watch the same movie 50 times and it's fine. But as you grow older, you pick away at movies more and you become less interested in a movie, I guess, if you keep rewatching it. It didn't work as well as it has in the past, but that's more me rewatching the movie too much rather than a comment on the movie. I would observe that the story is very slight and pretty inconsequential, and I would not be at all surprised if many viewers just shrug and consider it to be a pleasantly indifferent nothing of any consequence, which is fine. I wouldn't really argue otherwise. I would just say that I found it to be utterly charming. I think Greta Gerwig, who has subsequently over the years become a bigger, more important name, but to me she really landed on the map with this movie, and as soon as I saw this, to me it was such a star-making turn that she became a big star in my mind. It took many years for the rest of the world to catch up and agree that she was a big star, but when I saw this, it's a case of she was just so luminous, she was just lights up the screen so much, her performance is so significant, so here I am a substantial star kind of appearance that to me she has been a substantial star for quite a long time. Oddly, the other female lead, Mickey Sumner, who I believe is the daughter of the musician Sting, this appears to be her only big acting role. She is really good in the movie, so I have no idea why she didn't seem to act anymore. I think she's turned up in tiny roles here and there, but as far as a substantial acting role, I am completely unaware of any work she has done. If she has done more proper substantial acting, then it has totally passed me by, and she is really good, so it's not a case of, well, you know, the casting directors and other filmmakers don't think she's good. I mean, they must, if they see this movie, they must think, yeah, she is really good, she is well worth casting, so I don't know why she's disappeared. Noah Baumbach is a really good director. I put this as the start of a trilogy. After this he made While We Are Young, 2014 probably, which I think is a really interesting good movie. And he then made in 2015 Mistress America with Greta Gerwig, again in one of the two female lead roles. And it's a really good movie. Annoyingly, Mistress America has never had a physical release in the UK. All three of these movies I have rewatched a multitude of times. It is fair to say these movies really hit my sweet spot, really float my boat. It is a substantial trilogy in my opinion. A substantial trilogy of rather insubstantial story subject matter. They are all three quite small, modest, wispy little hangout movies where you just sort of hang out with a small bunch of characters, and if you're looking for proper big dramatic fireworks or a proper story of great world shattering significance with great dramatic meat on the bones, then these movies are not going to fulfill that criteria. But if you just want to see really well shot, really well acted. These movies have really great acting performances by multiple cast members. Uh, some amusing jokes and lots of observations. They're full of observational humour, especially while we are young, which is just filled with stuff about the younger generation fetishising old 80s technology, while the older generation who lived with that old technology are only too happy to junk the VHS tapes and board games and all the rest of it and live in the modern world with iTunes and mobile phone games. It's really quite amusing. So anyway, I would strongly recommend all three movies. As I say, I consider them to be a trilogy, and if you watch them in that way, I think it becomes maybe more than just a bunch of good movies, and it becomes a bunch of interesting, substantial movies. So I would give Frances Ha 8 out of 10 on this viewing. I wasn't 100% in the bag for it. The circumstances in which it was watched, I was a bit tired.
The film itself as a story is not substantial, but her character and her acting performance is substantial.